Hi guys, Squirrel here, and this is a video about mods for Euro Truck Simulator. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me, how do you install mods, what mods do you use? Please make a video. Well, this is the video, and I'm going to start off by showing you how to back up your existing profile, because, and this is a disclaimer, I've got to say this now, mods change your game. I know that sounds obvious, but they do. They change your game, and the mods are written by anybody. They can break your save game profile, and for that reason you absolutely must back up your profile before you start to play with mods, and probably do it regularly, because some mods can actually change your save game, and if you try and get rid of that mod, your save game won't load back into the vanilla game. Now there is a patch coming out for Euro Truck Simulator 1.3 that's due within the next week, and when it does come, it may change the format of the files and it may break some of these mods. So do a backup now, because when 1.3 comes we don't know what's going to happen. So first thing we're going to do is show you where the mods are. So what you want to do is you want to bring up your My Documents folder, so whatever your username is, My Documents, and in here you will see a Euro Truck Simulator 2 folder. Now here's a little tip for you. Drag this over to your favorites bar, because you're going to come back to this regularly. Now all you need to do is click on this and it will take you to your Euro Truck 2 Simulator folder. And in here you're going to see two things that are very important. One is the mod folder and the other is the profile. Your mod folder, this is where they should start off empty for a vanilla game. This is where you put your mods. And your profile, if you go in here, you will have one folder for each profile that you have created in the game. Now if you've only created one profile, one character if you like, then you'll only see one folder here, and this is my profile, my main one. If I go in here you can see all my save games going back, including my autosaves. Come back up to the top. The two things we're going to need to back up are the profile and the mod. However, if you have not put any music in here, then what I recommend you do is go up a level and simply back up the entire Euro Truck Simulator 2 folder. That way you also back up any information that's in here, any sort of config files. But if you have put music in there, don't worry, the best thing to do is back up mod and profile. You're going to need an archive program to help you, something that can create zips and something that can open zips. If you don't have anything, then I've got a link in the description to 7-Zip, which is an open source archiver. I suggest you install that first, and that way you can actually open the mod zip folders, because that's how they all come down. I happen to use WinRAR, so you can see here I did a backup of my profile on January the 26th. So the first thing I'm going to do before I start messing around is right click on my profile, add to profile.rar. That's going to create an archive of my profile. I'm just going to rename it so I know when I did it. Feb 2nd, there we go. And I'm also going to back up my mod folder, or at least I would if I had any mods, so it's not worth doing now. But the reason you would want to back up your mod folder along with your profile is, it sounds weird, but this is why. If you ever have to recover your profile, you're going to need this, but you're also going to want to know what mods you had in place that worked with that profile. Do you see the logic? So back up your mod folder as well and rename that to Feb 2nd, or whatever the date happens to be. Now we've got both. If we ever have to recover, we're going to get rid of profile, get rid of mod, and we're going to unpack both back again, and they will work because those mods worked with those save games. Do you see the logic there? Okay, so with that out of the way, and you absolutely must back up these folders. Do not skip this step, guys. Back it up. I don't want to get any comments, any messages saying, oh my god, these mods ruined my save games. They're not my responsibility. You must back this stuff up, and if you play with mods, it's completely at your risk. It's not my fault, okay? Now, I'm going to show you some mods that I've played with and I've been live streaming with, and I do know that these mods work. So the first one I'm going to show you is called, let's bring it up, it is, I'm going to go through each of these, but the one I want to show you first is this one. This is Game Fixes, and this mod actually makes a number of changes, which I'll show you in a second. I'm going to give you links to all of these mods, guys, that I'm going to show you, so they're going to be in the description, so don't worry about that. Don't be quickly copying down the browser URL. All the links will be in the description. Now, if we go ahead and download this file, and the download links tend to be at the bottom here, so we're currently running version 1.25 of Euro Truck Simulator. So these are, this is the one that you want. You click on one of these, it's going to take you to a page where you have to skip an advert and then it'll download. These are all AdFly links, so there's a 5-second advert will show, and the author gets, you know, a penny or half a penny or whatever he gets. Okay, so I've downloaded that file. It's called Game Fixes. Here it is. I'm going to open it up. It's a zip file. Let's move it over here. Now you can see there's these .scs files. These are the files. These are the mods. Each one is a separate mod. Why are there 4 in here? Well, always, 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 and I cannot stress this enough, read the README file. This will contain information. If you right click and go view file, this is going to contain important information and you must not skip this. I'll show you why right now. The reason I've chosen this mod is because I want to show you something. First of all, let's see what it does. Okay, so the Game Fixes, this particular mod, gamefixes.scs, there's a Kia seed inside the game which isn't exposed, so that brings that up. All the AI trucks will now transport all cargoes available in the game. There's some changes to a couple of upgrades. It swaps them around from level 8 to level 12, and then it fixes something on the dashboard of the man truck because the RPM starts at 1400 but in real life starts at 1100. The main reason I use that one is because of that, and that it will give me AI trucks which transport all the cargo, and that looks nice when you're playing the game. The next one is this one. This is a really cool one. This particular mod will bring all the real logos. Now people have asked me, why is it you can see Volvo instead of Valent and you can see Mercedes-Benz instead of Majestic? It's because of this mod. It brings the real names in. This mod, these names are going to be slightly irrelevant in 1.3 because they've done a deal with nearly all of the major manufacturers, so they've got a license to use the name. But you can have it now with this mod. It also changes, it puts things like Hitachi on the excavator, and it basically brings in this one I love. All the gas stations that you turn up now have real names on them, so you'll get Total, gas station, Esso, Jet, Agip instead of Aral, Total and Star. It's great, that one, because it makes you feel like you're pulling into a real gas station. Now, the next one that's available, remember there are 4, so that's those 2. I'm going to use those 2. I'm not going to use this one. This allows you to drive at 90 kilometers per hour. It removes the speed limit. Why am I not going to use that one? Simply because I use a different mod which is called Real Physics, which has a built-in speed limit remover, and I prefer that one. You've got to be very careful when you use mods not to use mods that do the same thing. So I don't want to drop this one in which changes the speed limit and drop another one in which also changes the speed limit. That's a path to pain. You must keep mods independent of each other so they change separate aspects of the game. Now, this is the reason I tell you to read README files. If you was to drop all 4 of these mods into your mod folder, start playing your game, and create some save games, spend many hours of happy trucking, and then one day you come to remove this mod, you're screwed, as it says here. You must not remove this file as your save game will now depend on it. If not, your game will crash. Because this game changes the save game file format, so if you then try to remove this mod and then load that save game back in, it'll fall over. Create a backup of your profile before you install this mod. If you see this, my recommendation to you is not to use the mod. Quite simply, one day you're going to want to remove this mod, or this mod will not work with a new patch of the game, and you will be screwed because you won't be able to get rid of the mod. So stay away from that, and that's why you always read the README files. Final thing to look for is the version that it works with. This works with 1.25 and 1.251, which means it's going to work with my current ETS. When 1.3 comes out, this mod may not work, and I may have to take it out temporarily until they do an update. Okay, so with that out of the way, what we do is go into our mod folder, select the mods that we want, and I want the game fixes and I want the real logos. I'm not going to take the speed limiter, I'm not going to take the all cargoes because that one screws up my save files, and you simply drop them into your mod folder. That's it. That's as hard as it gets. Really, the pain is in the steps you need to take beforehand to carefully read the README file and make sure you back everything up. Once you've done that, it's as simple as dropping it in your mod folder. that will now give us that mod, the Game Fixes mod. And I'm going to now show you some other mods that I play with. Oh, one thing to mention is when you do put mods in, put a mod in and then go and play test it. Make sure that it doesn't wreck the game. Play it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Save the game, come back out, remove the mod, and then load the game back in. Make sure that it's removable, okay? Because if it ever goes wrong, you're going to need to be able to remove it. So with that out of the way, let's have a look at some more good mods. Here's one that I like. This is the Real Logos for Heavy Duty Equipment mod. If we scroll down here, you can see we've got like cat diggers, and it puts a lot of the, if you read through the details of it, it's going to change a lot of the heavy duty you see. It's going to put nice logos on them, and it's going to look cool when you're driving down the road with one of these things on the back. So again, you need to scroll down, click on the link, drop the SCS folder into here. There's no particular gotcha with that one. These are just some of the mods that I'm recommending now. This is the Realistic Physics mod. This is the one you've all been asking for. Now this is the website, the same website, but it shows you mod 1.5. This mod is now actually on 1.6. So if you scroll down the description of this video, you will see these links here, but they won't look quite like that because that's to version 1.5. The ones that I use are these without the limiter. You can use this Realistic Physics mod with or without speed limiter. It's your preference. If you're new to the game, I suggest that you stick with the speed limiter for now, because once you start taking a truck over 55 miles per hour, it can get pretty scary, and you get speeding offences, and you'll inevitably tip your truck over or smash into something, as I sometimes do on my stream. And if you're not new to the game and you really want to unlock the power of your engine, if you like, then download the ones without the limiter. You're going to need both of them, the 6x2, 6x4 and the 4x2. Download both of those, drop them into here. What this does, this mod, is make as you can see here, it adjusts the transmission differentials, the suspension, the damping. A lot of the physics he's tried to model on real life. Believe it or not, the real game, all the trucks don't behave in different ways, but what he's done is, for the different manufacturers, he's altered the transmission and differential gear ratios so that everything appears more correct, and he's also made it so that the suspension moves, and when it's under load it will bounce and all this kind of thing. It's quite a nice mod, I like it, but some people don't like it. They think it makes them feel sick because the truck bounces around. It's entirely up to you. The final mod that I'm going to show you, oh, by the way, there's 7-Zip, the link to that zip archiver, nice and free, and you're going to need something. If you've already got something, then don't worry. This is the last one, the winter mod. This is a mod that I put in and take out whenever the mood takes me. Sometimes I like driving around in the snow. It looks fantastic, but at night it can be tricky, and if it rains in the game as normal, it will just rain. There is no snow in the game, so it's just purely a texture pack. It's purely cosmetic. Let's have a look at what it all looks like together. First of all, your mod folder should now look like this. You should see your game fixes and your real logos. You should see your snow, your heavy duty equipment, and 2 for the physics, the 1.6 physics, not the 1.5. And you should see 2 in there with or without limiter, depending on what you went for. This is what the game now looks like. I think you agree, it's really nice. The physics in there causes the truck to bounce. The snow looks absolutely beautiful. The trucks with the real signs on the back, and of course when you go to a fuel station, you're going to see proper logos. That's it for the mods video, guys. Don't forget to back things up. Don't forget to read the readme file. Follow the guides in this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and it was useful. And happy trucking!